What is up, guys? It is TheCitrusPanda here today, and I'm coming at you with a video that should be pretty interesting to most people. And the gameplay in the background you're seeing is League of Legends. That has nothing to do with what we're going to talk about, but let's get into it. So, endings. We're going to talk about endings. Now, what am I talking about endings, and what do you mean by endings? Well, I basically mean books, movies, games, everything that has a beginning and a middle and an end, and what that means about it. Now, a lot of people think that endings have to be really good for something to be phenomenal. Now, I agree to this to a certain point, but I think it's more about having a balance overall. It needs to have everything not be equal, but to be very good. The beginning needs to intrigue you, the middle needs to keep you going, and the end needs to satisfy you, or at least keep you thinking or make you think about something for a while. There are a lot of books out there or movies that they end and they just feel lackluster, like they could have done a lot more, and you're thinking about it and you're like, wow, I could have made a better ending for that book. I could have made a better ending for that movie. Now, looking back on it, hindsight is 20/20, as the saying goes. So those people who have made the ending for the movie or made the ending for the book might look back at that 5 years later or like a year later and be like, wow, I could have done a lot better than that. But there's no way they can go back and fix it. I mean, maybe in a game they could patch it or something, but nobody's not ever going to do that. The only way they can fix that is to do something equally as good next time. Or make sure that the thing is good in the first place. Make sure that it's going to meet up the standards of the series. Now, a good example of something like this is a solid series like, let's just use Fullmetal Alchemist for example. It's a manga, and it's solid overall. The beginning intrigues you, everything in the middle makes you want to read more, and the ending is near flawless. It's just great overall. Everything is good about it. It's not like the ending is so good that you're like, oh, the middle wasn't that good, but the ending made it better. You know, that's not what it is. No, the entire thing is good, and that's what makes it so awesome. Now, I'll use Code Geass as an example, which is an anime, and the ending is phenomenal. As a lot of people probably know, it's a really good ending if you've ever watched it. But the thing is that the second season of Code Geass, especially towards the end, is not near as good as the first half of the first season and the first half of the second season. It goes way off the wall and starts doing weird things. Then all of a sudden, the ending 2 episodes come and you're like, wow, that was amazing. But does that excuse 10 episodes of not as good things? Should they have just rushed to an ending rather than dragging it all out? Now, my personal opinion is that things should always end when you think they should end. In fact, in the story Bakuman, which is also a manga, just coincidentally, they actually, towards the end, and this is kind of spoilers, but towards the end, they make a series in the book, and they want to end it because they ran out of ideas. They don't care that, you know, if they stop now, they're not going to make that much money. No, they want to end it because they know that if they could keep it going. They could keep it going and add more stuff to the story, but it was perfect. It was perfect how it was, and they wanted to end it. And a lot of things, unfortunately, they step out of the boundaries, and they go way overboard. For instance, let's just say that a lot of people think that Death Note should have ended on Volume 7, when you know what happened died if you ever watched Death Note. Now, I agree to this to a certain point, but not really. I mean, quite honestly, I think the second part of Death Note was still really good. The thing is it as good as the first part? Probably not, but it doesn't really matter, because at the same time, I think that it's all solid altogether, but then, unfortunately, the ending to Death Note is one thing I don't really like about it. I like the entire Death Note, you know, I like everything about it. The only thing I didn't really like that much was the ending, and I think that was mostly because they kind of wanted to end it earlier, but then they didn't get to, so then they kind of did a weird ending, and it wasn't as good as maybe what they could have done before. And this is an opinion, it's all opinion based, but endings are something that are very hard to get right. See, you're going to displease a lot of people with some endings, and you're going to please a lot of people with some endings, and unfortunately you can't fix that. You can't just make an ending that will please everybody. You could make an ending that is very vague, so that, you know, you can kind of try to please everybody. An example would be something like The Giver, which is a book, if you've ever read it. The ending is very vague, and it doesn't give you too much information. You pick the ending of the book. How does it end? Well, the author doesn't know. You pick. And I think that's the idea behind it, but then what the thing is that you don't feel like a lot of people don't feel satisfied after this kind of endings. Some books can do it right. The Giver kind of did it right, but some things do it wrong, and then you just feel like, it was a wasted amount of time that you spent on that amount of media or whatever you were doing. And it just doesn't feel like you actually accomplished anything. It feels like, what just happened? Like, there has to be an ending. Give me something more. Something like the show Welcome to the NHK, which is an anime that had an ending that is very vague, and it's very weird. Like, if you look at it from a standpoint of, I just watched 25 episodes, come on, like, what was that? But then I thought about it for a minute, and I'm like, that's a phenomenal ending. You think what happens to the end. You know, the author isn't going to be able to please everybody, so that's a way to get out of that. They can kind of make it so you pick what it ends with. But the thing is also, I feel like that type of ending, and this isn't the insult to people who make it, but I almost feel like that's the safe way to go. But it's also a lot of times the best way to go. When I say it's the safe way to go is because you're not going to displease as many people. If you make an ending and it's not that good to a lot of people, then it's bad. You know, that's not good. You don't want to displease the people who have stuck with you all that time to get to the end of something that you created. And the bad thing there is that sometimes that will happen. And a lot of people like going with these endings that are grandiose so that you can try to make it worth their time. And a lot of times it is. And endings can also make things very, very good. In fact, I think the ending is arguably the most important part of a series. Although the beginning needs to be intriguing and the middle needs to be very important, I think the ending of something needs to hit you hard and it needs to make you feel like what you just did was worth it. If you just read a series of 7 books that were over, 500 pages each, I want something of closure. I want to experience something that I haven't experienced before in another book. I want to see something new. I want to see something that makes me smile and be like, wow, that was a good series. I would read that again. Not like, oh wow, that ending was terrible and I don't want to watch it again. So, talking about endings, and I kind of wanted to brush on school days in this video, but I'm actually going to make a separate video for that because I actually have a really interesting topic to talk about on the subject of school days. But the ending to that was shock value. You know what I mean? Like, it was out of nowhere, and the ending didn't really make sense, but some things are known for their endings. School Days is known for its ending. It's not known for being a good anime. The beginning isn't good, the middle isn't good, none of it is good. The ending is crazy. Is the ending good? I don't know. I mean, it's crazy and it's shock value, but it is pretty interesting, and it's pretty crazy. Honestly, I think the ending is arguably the most important part of something because School Days, being a perfect example of this, the anime itself is not that good. Like, there's no reason to really watch it. There's plenty of other shows that you could watch that are way better than it, with way better characters and just way better story in general, but people watch it because they know it has a crazy ending. Or maybe they don't know, but a lot of people who do watch it are like, they were told by people, dude, the ending is so crazy. The ending of something is something that a lot of people look forward to, and after I just watched Psycho Pass the other day, that was, I just finished it actually, that was a really good ending. It was something that it closed out the piece of, literature or piece of media that made it a full package. It wasn't just great altogether, and then the ending was just, it was alright. No, it was something that I watched and I liked it so much that I would tell anybody I met and were interested in anime, I'd say go watch Psycho Pass. Great beginning, great middle, great end, and it's a full package. That's what a piece of literature or media needs to be. It needs to stand alone on any point in the series. It can't just be good in the middle, it can't just be good in the beginning, and it just can't be good at the end. If it is, it might be, it might get some sort of thing like School Days did where people just watch it for the ending, or people just go up on YouTube and search School Days ending because that's all you really need to do. Like, if you wanted to see School Days ending, just know this. He went around cheating with girls all the time and then the ending happened. That's all you need to know. Like, you don't need to watch 11 episodes to get to episode 12, the last 6 minutes of the show. You just need to know the ending. You just need to, know a basic summary because the story isn't that good, and then you need to see the ending, and that's not what you should want. That's not what a creator should want. A creator for something should want people to watch the entire thing, to read the entire thing, and then get to the ending and have it to be satisfying. Now, that's all I have in this video. If you didn't like the video, or if you just thought it was weird or out of character or whatever, I used to do these types of videos all the time, and I think I might start doing them more, like just, putting gameplay in the background, talking about random things, rambling on. I think a lot of people do like these kinds of things. I like them personally because there's something that I can do while I'm doing other things. For instance, these can go in the background. You don't actually need to watch the video because it has nothing to do with what I'm talking about. And until next time, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Next video I'm putting out probably is going to be about the topic I kind of discussed in this video about school days and the ending of it, and just an interesting little fact about it. But that's it for now, and I'll see you guys around. It's been TheCitrusPanda talking about endings. See you guys next time.